Like an angel in the morning, shooting star across the night. The most beautiful girl I've seen in all my life. Every second spent with you, it's like a day that's brand new. Good morning, sir. I'm so amazed at all the things you do. Yes, I wanna build my whole world around you. So I promise you I'll ride for always. Girl, you are my sunshine, baby, don't you know? Yeah, I won't be all over me. Over me, I will love you forever. Yeah, I won't be all over me. Good morning. I will love you forever. I hear music, hear the words, and in the way you call my name. When you by my side, I can do everything. You're my best friend, you're my lover, but I want you to know what else will do. Thinking that I know with anything. Yes, I wanna build my whole world around you. So I promise you forever and always. Girl, you love my sunshine, baby, don't you go away. Yeah, I want me, all over me, around me, I light on. Say I will love you forever. Yeah, I want me, all over me, around me, I will love you forever. My baby, my baby. You are my sunshine, my essence. There's no one like you. My baby, my baby. You are my sunshine, my love, my essence. There's no one like you. You want me. Okay, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Pfthinks from Praiseful International Studios, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm so excited to be alive and just as you are. And we're grateful to God for the gift of a new life. And thank you for always joining me every day, my 3 a.m. club. If you live in West Africa, and for those of you who are always joined from the UK, US, Canada, some join from Dubai and other parts of the world. Thank you so much for joining me again this morning. Okay, so we've been looking at common mistakes married men make, and yesterday we started asking the question, who is your wife? Because we are still on second mistake that married men make, which is I can undo a woman's syndrome, right? And that an average man suddenly just feels that because he's a man or he's male, he has all it takes to handle a woman, So if you live in Nigeria, for example, and you go by commercial transportation, you will, I've gotten to hear a bus conductor or a driver make statements like, I have your type at home, cynical statements to women without understanding the status. If you go to the place of work, you will hear men gossip about a single lady, and they'll tell you it's because she's not submissive, that's why she's not getting married. That over a period of time, people don't understand the difference between a woman and a wife, and everyone just begins to teach all kinds of things. And yesterday I established that why this particular mistake tribe is a result of cultural error, religious error, belief systems around the societies, that suddenly makes people believe that, hey, something is wrong with a woman, right, who is not under a man, or who is not. We seem to have the way we expect women to behave, especially wives, and we are not considering the personality type. And so yesterday, again, I was studying another matrilineal society in the world, and I stumbled on the caste culture in India. Caste culture is a culture where women are the ones who rule. In that culture, the children answer the name of the woman. When they get married, the husband moves into the house of the family of the woman, and they extend the property to accommodate the new family. The men are taken responsibilities for by the women in this culture. They take all the decisions, and the men don't have a problem with it. And one thing about the castle culture is that there is no reported case of violence, domestic violence in the castle culture ever. Over 1 million people of that culture exist in India, and that is the cleanest society in the whole of Asia. Would you like to go and live in the castle culture? Where as a man, your wife is the head of the family, and you are just okay. I mean, some of the men were interviewed, and they seem to be okay with it. I mean, the fact that there is no domestic violence makes it very interesting. Anyway, that's not why we are here. So yesterday we began to look at the 4 types of women and 4 types of wives, and then we looked at the intimidating wife, or the African culture or the average culture seems to have a problem with. So if you have a woman who is driven, who is motivated, self-motivated, gets into projects, an achiever, a power woman, people seem to have a problem with that. And a lot of men seem to have a problem with that. So consistently, you will hear people make cynical comments like, she's trying to rule, she's trying to drag power, she's trying to rule over her husband. What kind of woman is that? She's not submissive, because she's very outspoken and she will ask questions that nobody's asking. So in the religious space, people talk her down, and they say all kinds of things about her. And if you're not careful as a man, you will try to subject and clip her wings based on the instruction of your family member. Little do you know that the moment you clip her wing, you totally lose her, because she's not the kind of person that can lay low, lie low. She's just very driven. If there's no projects to do, you will have just have killed her. So today we go to the second type of woman, second type of a wife. And like I established yesterday, that a wife is not a woman, right? I said a woman is simply a feminine expression of man, where man is humanity, and the wife is the word Isa, which is a type of help that only God could have supplied. So wife as role description, woman is identity, and that's why we always insist that you must be first a woman before you can become a wife, because womanhood is the foundation on which the role wife is built. And that role wife is very optional. You don't have to be a wife, but you can be a woman and enjoy your life and be successful at whatever you do. So we talked about the intimidating wife yesterday. Today, I take you to the world of the creative wife. Now, when we talk about the creative wife, we're talking about, are you married to someone that is very, very flashy, right? The lady is typically going to wear a red shoe on a red purse, and she's going to be very, very flashy. She can make dreadlocks. She can paint her hair, tone her hair, dye her hair, make her faces and eyelashes and everything. Are you married to that kind of a woman, right? Society is going to call her flirty. They're going to say that you are married to an Ogbanje, if you are from, the southwestern culture of Nigeria in West Africa. They'll call all kinds of names, because she's very, very flashy. She's very, very particular about what she wears and her colors. She's most likely going to buy a red car, a yellow car, that when she steps into a place, she's the life wire of everywhere she finds herself. She will take responsibilities for any party. Even though she's not the MC, she will become the event organizer. Very, very creative. She can create play spontaneously. Now, are you married to a woman that is a show woman, someone that is full of excitement and all forms of networks, right? You're married to that woman who seems to know everybody, and you're wondering, how come you know this one, you know that one, you know that one? Because from her past, she's just, her life is about building relationships. Even though the relationships are not deep, they are shallow, right? But she seems to know everything about everyone and everyone that matters. And if you are a husband, you may be intimidated, because she naturally would attract opposite sex more than same sex. As a matter of fact, she's likely going to tell you that she cannot confide, or she doesn't get along with other women, that she gets along more with men, right? So how do you handle that? Now, this kind of woman, or if you're married to this kind of wife, she's full of excitement and all forms of network. She has a male-dominated followership. She's a creating problem solver and very spontaneous. Sometimes she leaves things to the last minute. We call her last minute anointing. So instead of planning and doing this A to Z approach, right, she waits to the last minute, because she always feels that she has it covered. And trust me, when she gets into that last minute frenzy, which can upset you, she has a way of making things peppering things up and making it work. So her life is fun and she hates restrictions. She's the type who will go to the beach, wear a bum shot, take a picture, and does not send anybody. As far as she's concerned, she's enjoying her life, she's enjoying the fun. Other people are just judging her, they are calling her names. People are worried for you. Where did you get this kind of woman? Where did you get her? See what your wife is wearing. How can she be wearing red shoe? I mean, tell her to calm down. That's what they're going to tell you. Tell her, she should not be too bogus. If they will even create adages, if she's a Yoruba woman in West African culture, that when somebody's yam begins to grow, you need to cover it. So what they're saying is cover our glory. Okay. They will tell you, they will report out to you consistently, because they cannot stand her presence, because she has a presence when she steps out. Let me tell you a secret. A lot of them wish their wife were like your wife, right? If you're married to this flashy woman, because she's a very beautiful lady, very particular about what she wears, her makeup, everything is just speaking, right? So deep down, many of them complain about her, desire her, but they can't afford her, and they wish their wives will act like that. But because they are not sure of what the religious space and the cultural space will say, they will pretend that their wife is the model woman, while they try to talk down your wife. Life is fun for her, so she hates restrictions. So don't cage her and give her rules and regulations, because that will kill her, right? One of the things she doesn't like or she can't stand is a judgmental environment. The moment you are judgmental, you're going to lose her, or you make her begin to pretend. She's a bird that will die when caged, because she wants to fly everywhere. Now you need to balance her, right? So that, because she can also be an extremist, especially because her heart is very open. She doesn't know enemies, she doesn't know friends. So when it comes to signing a contract, you need to help her read through the contract, because she can sign out her life, except where she now has a complementary personality that helps her calm down, to go through the dots and cross the T's, because naturally she doesn't have the tendencies, because she's very spontaneous. She trust so easily, so she can meet this person and begin to open up her life to the person, not knowing that can be used against her, right? But she's a bird that will die when caged. She's a link that opens every door for your family, because she knows everyone and everyone. She knows everyone up to presidency. She can find her way, right? But she's a rule breaker. Oftentimes, when you set the rule in the family, she has totally forgotten, because her mind is elsewhere, and she can break the rule. As a matter of fact, we say that she's not even aware of the rule. If you are married to this kind of woman, right, she's a 5-gear system car. If you want to drive, and you need to understand the gears. Gear number 1 is flattery. She loves flattery, so you need to flatter her. Don't talk her down, because she's very sensitive to words and touch. Anyone that flatters her, or that has learned to use words of affirmation, will get through to her easily. So if your husband, she's powerfully dressed, or she's flashily dressed, permit the use of that language, and you don't commend her, she will find expression with anyone who commends her, because she likes to thrive in an environment of affirmation. She's like a flower, like a rose. If you don't water her, she's going to wither. And to water this kind of wife, you need a lot of words of flattery or praises. Okay. Gear number two is acceptance. You need to accept her for who she is without trying to make her into someone else. Don't try to make her into SU, or and I'll tell her, you need to, tone it down a little bit, dress like spiritual women. How do spiritual women dress? Okay. She's not a naked type, right? She's not going to go nude, right? But she's just very particular about what she wears, and appearance is everything to her. And she wants a man to also be a power dresser, kind of, because she's very romantic. So flattery is gear number 1. Gear number 2 is acceptance. Gear number 3 is praise. You must learn to praise her all the time. By the time she lays the table, very, very creative, even though our closet can be disorganized. So sometimes she can dump her shoe somewhere, dump her pants somewhere, dump all kinds of things. She's always looking for something, right? She can be looking for ATM, looking for a car key, because she's not totally naturally organized, right? So you might need to teach her organization or help her organize her life. Gear number 4 is freedom. You need to give her freedom to be herself. What you need to do for her is to hold her emotionally accountable. Once you can hold her emotionally accountable, you have gotten and you get the best out of her. She will most likely not go out of order. Now, the last gear is fatherhood. You need to be a father to her, because when you have the heart of she's my girl, right, you will not see the need to trample or destroy her very strength, which requires to enjoy herself. But she will also know that I have a father who supports me at all times. Because if you are for her, no one can be against her. With your support, she can go all over the world. But the moment you dance to the tune of culture and religion, right, she becomes very, very sad. And once she knows that you are no longer for her, she will subject her natural strength, and she becomes someone else that you may not like. Now, you need to understand that in the empowering space, she's very charming and loud, but in the disempowering space, she's a type of woman that they will call a seductive woman. Even though she's not seducing anybody, they will call her Jezebel in the religious space because of her presence. And religious people don't know that the person that is coming to bring down your man of God is not dressed like her, right? It's not as flashy as her. The person that will throw your man of God off his balance, right, is someone who is dressed like one of you, okay? And you need to understand that it is not her appearance that is throwing your man off balance. He should go and do something to his wife, right? She's just herself, right? So she's easily noticeable among a crowd. So they will call her a seductress. Meanwhile, she's just charming and naturally loud. Now, in the empowering spaces, she's sociable. Now, as a husband, the empowering narrative is where you want to be, not the disempowering space. Now, she's sociable, she's called fickle and carnal and unspiritual, right? So you will hardly find her in a prayer group or prayer meeting. Most likely you find her in the radio space in choir or ushering, right? So when it comes to prayer, she may not be a long type of a woman who can pray for a long time, but she prays the prayer of faith. And she's in that state, she can pray 5 minutes, right? In that state, God understands her and God loves her. She's the most judged in the religious space. So they will call her fickle. They will say she's carnal, she's unspiritual. And they call her unspiritual because she's the one who is likely going to strike conversations that nobody wants to talk about. She's the one that's likely going to talk about sex that is killing a lot of people's marriages, that everyone is pretending. She's going to talk about sex styles, right? That everybody is ushering, and so people are deceiving themselves. But she's very real. She's not a pretender. So she's, except where the environment becomes judgmental, so she can begin to pretend. Now, so they'll call her unspiritual, they'll call her carnal, even though all of them are worse, but they will try to label her, right? So if you listen to them, you will be disappointed in your wife, and you'll be doing everything. In fact, you become suspicious of her because she might just be close to someone else that is not you, and she seems to have some old friends from way back, right? So she's not, they will call her fickle, carnal, or spiritual, but she's sociable. They would say she's spontaneous. They will say she's unserious, and she's actually spontaneous, right? She's very, very brilliant, very spontaneous, but they say she's unserious. Now, she's passionate about whatever she believes in, but people will say she's self-promoting because when she's giving examples, she would rather use herself as example or create a story that can drive home the message, right? But people will say she's always talking about herself, but that's just who she is. All she has is herself, right? And all she has are the people in her network. So she'd rather talk about them than talk about abstract, right? She's persuasive. People call her exaggerating, and they will call her a liar. She can make up a story that doesn't exist to drive home a point. As far as she's concerned, she wants to convince people. But when people now realize this story is not adding up, they will call her a liar. They will call her that she's exaggerating. She just wants to make an impression and persuade you and close a deal, right? The process of closing the deal is not as important as closing the deal to her. Now, so don't call her a liar, right? Because while she may have the tendency to exaggerate, you need to focus on what she's trying to achieve. Now, she's determined. People call her headstrong, just like an intimidating wife. She's determined. People call her headstrong. She's attractive. People call her flirty, right? Because she's naturally attractive. She will catwalk. She will fling her body, So people will say she's flirty. Now, she's just someone who is particular about her appearance, and she believes everything about herself, right? And she's dressed to kill her husband. She's not dressed to attract other people, but other people get attracted to her She's exactly what an average person there out there wants his wife to be like, right? But they will never say it publicly. They will be ushering it down, down, down. They desire her. They want their wives to be like her, but they will talk her down because religion does not permit the way she behaves and the way she carries herself. So they will say she's flirty, meanwhile she's just attractive. Now she will ask a lot of questions. They will say she's rebellious and loud-mouthed. So in the religious space, she's the one who is likely going to question leadership. She's one who is going to ask questions that a sensible human being should ask. But others would say, why are you asking that question? Why are you question a man of God? As far as she's concerned, everyone is a child of God, so she wants to know, right? In the workplace, she's likely going to question the boss because she's not intimidated by anyone, but people will judge her. They will call her rebellious and loud-mouthed. Now, if you're listening to me and you are married to this woman, if your wife has been accused of being a seductress, being fickle and carnal or spiritual, being unserious, being self-promoting, being exaggerating and a liar, being headstrong, being flirty, being rebellious and loud-mouthed, congratulations, you are married to the creative convertible. Now, if you are a husband, how do you engage? You need to be fun-driven yourself because she loves to visit beautiful places, beaches, and it doesn't have to be very expensive. It just have to be moments and momentous and memorable, right? Once the place is memorable, she's the outgoing type. She wants you to visit places, see movies together, do crazy things together, lovey-dovey, necking, pecking, and kissing, and what have you. Those are the things she just loves to do, right? And so you need to align with her. She wants to dance with you, so you cannot be traditional and get the best out of this woman, right? So you need to be fun-driven if you are a husband. You need to be trusting and also flirty with her. So you want to do what do you call it now? WhatsApp chat with her and tell her tonight is going to be serious if I catch you. So for example, she rushes home, she wants to do quickie sex, right? If you are a very traditional person and you begin to tell her no, we need to, no, she cannot understand that. So you need to be flirty with her as well because she's always on her phone sometimes. So you want to be the one she's chatting with, and you need to trust her. Okay, trust her, except where trust has been breached, but you need to learn to forgive, right? But you also want to find out if she now crosses that line. You want to find out why she's crossing that line and surround her once again, right? So she's romantic. And you need to be romantic and grooming, right? So you need to groom yourself. You need to be particular about your nails, your shoes, what you wear, because you are like a trophy to her. She wants to say, see my guy, see my guy. That's the kind of person she is. Now, if you are the man who doesn't know how to dress, who is not well groomed, you need to go and learn that, right? Because she's also sapiosexual, so she loves intelligent power dresser who are also equally as flashy as her, right? So I'm not saying alter your personality, which is why I'm an advocate for like and kind to attract, not opposites. When it comes to human relationships, sometimes when opposites attract, it's always counterproductive because she wants to be spontaneous. If she's married to a traditionalist, right, she's going to be frustrated, right? So she's romantic. I mean, you need to be romantic and grooming. So you groom yourself, your bed, your glasses, your shoe, everything just have to be together, right? And when you appear with her, right, people look at you and they say, wow, we want to be like those couple, right? The lovey-dovey things, she wants to do it publicly, right? And you need to enjoy it because she's your wife after all. Next one, you need to be touching and then use affirmation. She's very sensitive to touch and words. So you need to learn to hug her because she's an intuitive feeler. She's always using her hand to gesticulate. So you need to surround her, hug her, let her put her head on your laps, and what have you, just be very touchy and be very affirmatory with your words. Be very, very generous with your words. So when she's doing something, be a cheerleader. Oh, that's my girl, that's my babe, talk about her. It nurtures her, right? And please don't listen to what culture has to say about your spouse or what your family members may have to say, right? That's the person you have chosen to marry, right? And you need to face her and love her and groom her and give her freedom to become the best version of herself. Like intimidating wife, you also need to be able to strike that balance for her because she has the tendency to go overboard, but you need to explain it to her like a lover to say, this is the why you cannot do this here, maybe because of rules of engagement, not because anything is wrong with you. Because if you have to correct her, don't judge her. Use sandwich. Find something to praise about her. Make your point, right? Then end up with praise, which is why you cannot also correct her in front of people. That will kill her and make her withdraw, right? So you need to be touching and use a lot of affirmation, and you need to be a non-judgmental enabler. You need to be a non-judgmental enabler. Now, one of the roles that you have to play in her life, like I said, is to help her understand the lines, right? And understand that yes, you can actually cross the line, but make sure you cross the line within the ambit of what is legal, of what is true, what is honest, and what is praiseworthy, right? You need to help her understand that. You see, you are a husband who needs to talk to her all the time, because she recovers from stress by talking. She's a natural talker, a natural talkative, highly romantic as well, and you will enjoy the best of her. There is nothing you can discuss with her. She's the type who forgives so easily, and she expects the same from other people, right? So like I said, you need to help her strike that balance, and in a way that she doesn't begin to upset everyone by our quest to be herself, but within the frame of reference of expression of herself. You need to be a cheerleader and understand that she can become the best version of herself. Now, she's a good starter with many projects. She never finishes because she gets uninterested and moves to something else. That's another area where you need to help her work on. Now, you need to understand that a creative wife fears rejection. She fears judgment, which can make her pretend. Once the environment is judgmental and the environment is inimical to her growth and her expression of herself, she begins to pretend. And once she begins to pretend, that's when you now say she's an hypocrite. She's not really an hypocrite. She has just learned to behave the way you want her to behave. While when she gets to a natural zone, she becomes herself, and she lets her guards down, right? But you want to create an environment that is non-judgmental, where you can see her in a natural element. Now, she wants to network with people, and we do everything to get to the highest level, which she can sometimes overdo. She's very, very ambitious. She wants to be where it's happening. She wants to be in the showbiz. She wants to be in every show. Now, she cannot do that all the time, or else, if you are not careful, the family finance will suffer. So you need to tone her down and let her prioritize, right? Which is one of the areas of her excesses that you need to work on for her. And sometimes, because she doesn't also know who an enemy is, you need to protect her by helping her see what she can see in people, because she's like a child. Her mind is very, very open. She can be hurt consistently and bounce back and make the same mistake. So you need to help her in that area. Help her with balance without seeking to stop her. She's the family key to opening up every door that can serve the best interest for your family. She will know everyone. So when you say, oh, I want to do this project, she seems to know someone who knows something about the project. If you say, oh, I want to, in fact, let me shock you. The people you may not be in tune with, or you are warning her against, may actually be the people you need eventually, right? So she will look at you and say, but you say I should not follow these people, I should not flow with these people. She seems to be able to flow with the good, the bad, and the ugly, the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class, right? She's just a people person. If you are not a people person, then don't try to make her like you. What you need to do for her is help her strike a balance, for her to know that it's not everyone that is smiling with her that actually loves her. But above all, she builds good relationships, good networks. She seems to know everyone, and people love her. People like her, right? So that's a strength that you need to maximize as a husband. And like I said, don't listen to what people have to say about her, or else they will destroy your home. They will make you clip her wings, make you read the rules and regulations out. And once you read the rules and regulations out, which is not a natural habitat, she will become pretentious and show you the version you want her to be. But when she goes out, she becomes someone else, and that's not what you want. So that is what it means to be married to a creative, compatible wife. Now, when you want to correct her, like I said, use the sandwich model. Don't shout, don't scream on her. Just calm down. Find a romantic time, the best moment, and let her open her heart. And like I said, hold her emotionally accountable. Now, that is what it means to be married to a creative wife. So tomorrow I will look at the dependable wife. Most likely, if I can match her with a systematic wife, I'll try to do that. If not, we will also split it. Now, who is your wife? Is your wife an intimidating wife? Is your wife a creative wife? Between the two personalities we've shared so far, where does your wife fall into? Now, you need to understand that you are running a home. You are not running an extended family. You are running a new nation. And you need to accept your spouse for who they are. You cannot, your wife is like a car, right? Different brand of car. You cannot drive them with the same knowledge of the old cars. No, every car is unique. Their gear system is unique. So you need to master the gear system of your wife and do everything that will promote our best interest. The same thing goes for a man. So if you are a woman and you are a creative woman, you need to understand that when you have a supporting husband, do not take them for granted. You need to love and also praise them. And you need to understand that when they try to give the rules, is to protect you, and you want to seek clarity, and then you want to align with them in those instances, right? Don't take for granted the fact that, oh, there's freedom and you go overboard. You need to understand that. But above all, enjoy your life. If you are married to this woman, you will enjoy her. Get into the kitchen with her, cook with her, do stuff with her. She just wants you to do things together and fool around. People will call you all kinds of names. They will say, you are girls follow me, you are boys follow me, whatever you. But it's their business. You enjoy your life. I mean, she's very flashy. Enjoy your Miss World. Congratulations for being married to an amazing, amazing woman. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow, God's willing, and we'll be talking about another type of wife. Remember, we're still looking at common mistakes married men make, and you can actually avoid these mistakes and enjoy the best moments with your life. The first key is accepting your spouse, and I think that's something you need to do for yourself. I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, keep loving, keep living, and know that I deeply, deeply, deeply celebrate you, and I love you from the bottom of my heart. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.